Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be replacing this broken door handle on this 2004 Toyota Avalon with this handle I got off of eBay. I'll put a link in the description. I think just due to age and the cold weather and whatever, this finally broke off, and it's pretty hard to get in here right now. So we're going to be swapping this out today. To get to the handle, we have to get this door panel off. So we got to find all the screws that will release this panel. And there's one right underneath there. There's probably one right underneath here. And probably one right underneath here. It's pretty standard on these doors. They're hidden. And there's a couple down on the bottom. I love this car. Drives so nice. All right, let's see if we can get the door loose. Sometimes there's some push pins that are holding us in. There's some hidden screws maybe right here too, so we're gonna pop these out. Those are weird. Push them in and then they come out. I forgot to take this one out. Sometimes you have to pop this out to get the door to come out. Yeah, so this is just held in by a clip. The back is the clip. If you pull up too hard on the front, you'll snap this little tongue off because it like slips underneath there. So you want to work on the back and get it loose, and then it'll come up. And there's a screw right there that's holding the door. That's why it wouldn't come loose yet. So we got to somehow get that unhooked, the electrical part, so we can get that screw out and then remove it. There's not a lot of play here. So there's like a little thumb release right there. I got to push up and then pull the plug out at the same time. There we go. That wasn't too bad. So that's the control right there, just one plug. Now I gotta get the screw out. And now it's pretty much all loose. I may have to pop this bezel out yet. Just don't wanna break it. There we go. This little piece up here is kind of stopping me. There we go. And then we just have that little wire right there I gotta undo. And we're free. Well, that's an overview of the inside of your door panel. And this is the other side in case you need to see something in it. Now we need to work our way into this area right here where the door handle is. So I'm guessing we'll probably want to go in through this plastic panel here. But to do that, I'm gonna have to remove a bunch of this plastic. I don't really want to move that because it looks like it could be a little bit of a pain to keep in there once it's out. So we're just going to cut the plastic around that. Now we can do this plastic. So now we should have access to this handle right up in there. It looks like there's two screws holding that in. I think the easiest way to show you how to do this is probably to take the locking mechanism off here and then the handle off and kind of drop the whole assembly down so we can see what's going on. Because I got to unhook all the linkage and it's going to be hard to even see it. There's a couple screws here that might be involved. You want to keep track of where these are at. All right, this is all loose here. I just got a couple bolts still holding that handle in place. Try to show you where I'm working here. I don't know if you can see down in that crack, but right here's a bolt, and I think there's another one over here, right here, and then one on the other side. There's actually access holes in both of those screws, so you can just put your wrench right through it and take them out. There's one more down here. I'm not sure. I think it's part of the linkage and it's at an angle. You can't get on it through the hole. So the handle's gonna come out from the front. You got this one linkage here that you gotta undo. So how these things work is you actually rotate them. They slip to a position where you can pull the linkage out. Well, in a perfect world, yeah, once you undo that, they're supposed to slip right out. It's been in there a while though. Here we go. So yeah, they just kind of like spearhead into this hole right there. So now we can put the new handle in, hook up the linkage, and kind of go in reverse order. So here is our new handle, and we will need to take this this piece out of the old one because we'll have to use it in the new one. So this just slides right in the new handle. Bring our linkage up here, push it in, then lock it down, and then slide our handle right into place. And now we have to go on the back side and start putting everything back together. Trying to get my first screw started here. Okay, got that one started too. Now I'm going to get the lock set back in place. I know this is really hard to see, but that lock set is down in there, and I have to lift it up into place, and then there's a screw that goes right beside the handle that holds it in place. All right, I'm having trouble with the key lock, getting it in place, so I think I'm going to loosen all this stuff back up. Okay, so the key lock screws in right there. This is what holds the handle in place. One problem I ran into is the plastic right here over these threads for this keyhole lock that has to attach right there. The plastic looks like it's smaller than the thread size. So the screw will not even go in there to start tightening up. So I'm probably gonna have to either tap it out or melt it out so I have more space, because I can't even get my screw to get started there. It's supposed to screw in just like these. So all I'm gonna do is heat a piece of metal up here that will give me access to those threads, and just gonna melt through with this propane torch here. We're just gonna heat this up a little bit. I only paid like $20-25 for this handle, so it's probably not Toyota brand. So, you know, sometimes when you try to save a little money, you may have to do a little bit of modification. So we're just going to try to open that up so we can get our screw down in there. Well, we got our screw down in there. It's a little snug. Probably had some plastic down in there. All right, that'll work. That plastic was probably 1/8 of an inch thick. I just melted a hole through it so we could get to our threads, because it's like a threaded insert in there. So now we should be able to hook this up. The key will hook on two places. One is the hole we just worked on, and then this is where the screw comes through for the handle to hold it in place. So it'll have two spots where it is secured. Now that we know why the key slot would not start, we can put the handle in place. So I'm getting the top hole of that key slot lined up, so it's going to hold the handle and the key slot at the same time. And then I'm going to start this screw and hopefully hold them both in place. All right, let me tell you one of the tips that I just figured out. So this handle sits in there, and there's two pieces of metal that come down in front of it, and that's what you secure this handle to on the inside. The key switch has two legs that go like this. This leg up here has to go in between this face and that piece of metal, so it slides in between there. I was trying to go over top of it for a while and it was not working. So we got the handle tightened in there, the key switch is in there, everything looks good. We're going to start securing everything back together on this side. So before I go any farther, I'm going to make sure this door closes and opens like it should, so I don't get it together and find out I have a problem. Oh yeah. Okay, now it's just putting this back together. Everything's tightened up in there, so this just needs to go back in place. Put these screws back in. We'll try to stick this back on here so it stays somewhat. This just slides in to place, and that holds it in place. So I think we're ready to put the door back on. So I have to plug this little plug back in. I think I'm ready to put it back on. I gotta get my plug out here. This was blocking me. And there is one push pin on this side that has to be lined up. So now it's against. Now I just have to get my controller back in here, get the screw back in here. So my controller hooks on right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and cycle my window before I get too far to make sure it works fine. Make sure everything was back together correctly. Looks good. So now, remember this has to go, front side goes in first. Just like that. Lock works good. I'll put this bezel on here. Oh shoot, I forgot to put my big screw in here. Yeah, this screw has to go in before I get too far. There we go. Now I'll put this in here. Controls work. Got this screw to put in. Got these little push pins here to put in. Got these 3 screws on the bottom. And then these little covers just clip over these screws. And this little square cover goes right here. Just like that. And this piece goes right here. Just snaps on. There you have it. New door handle. Wasn't too bad. Well guys, hope you got something out of this video. If you did, think about subscribing to the channel. Till next time guys, good luck with all your projects.